Legendary trader Jesse Laurelston Livermore, $100 million earner, U.S. stock market crash, 1929. How did he do it? Well, we're going to be getting into that. He decoded the market like a wizard in 1929. The secret weapon, the accumulation cylinder, a pattern that screams potential breakouts and breakdowns. Right now, Bitcoin is tracing this exact pattern. We're at stage 7. Stage 8 is where the fireworks begin. Buckle up because today we're diving into Bitcoin's rally and the total crypto market cap, why the smart money is accumulating and positioning itself for massive moves. Let's get into it. Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin action. If you want to dive in today, please give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget to come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. Right now, what we're going to be talking about, we're breaking it down. The Bitcoin surge above the 88,000 all important level. And really, there's some things working in the background that we have to keep an eye on right now. Total crypto market cap right now is basically sitting at what is it, $3 trillion right now. And there are negative funding rates that are really, helping Bitcoin along. Because why? Because when funding rates go negative, the marketplace is actually short. So the marketplace is still short Bitcoin. And we got a massive move that could be just sparking at any time. So just stay with me. You need to know about all this stuff. So let's dive in. Let's start right now with the king of Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading right around what, 92,600, and it's been on a tear. Now, let's think about this. April 17th, the freaking world was coming to an end when Bitcoin dropped to 74,500. We told you, hang on. We could possibly dip to 68. We knew that the marketplace was extremely bearish at the time. Remember when that big whale was putting on those massive shorts, and we were like saying, "Oh, we're going to chase this guy, liquidate him, and drive us up above 90,000." Well, guess what? He liquidated before we could totally get to him, but he did take some punches in the face on that trade. But anyway, as things started to evolve, okay, everybody was like nervous, 74,500, what the freak is going on right now? Because retail was severely involved in this. And retail basically only thinks one way, up. Markets don't do that. Markets are living, breathing things. They go up and down, and they don't really care about what you think. But anyway, so on April 17th, we dropped down to 74,500. It rose back at 83,588 by April 19th. Now, we knew that we needed to get through a massive resistance at 88,500. Now we're above that level, and the technicals are screaming bullish. Now, I want to just check something out right here. Right now, we're above all the EMA. Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Guess what else? Now we're going to be probably playing catch up. Gold is like roaring above us. Guess what? Bitcoin's going to catch it. Bitcoin is going to catch it. There are a lot of profits that are being taken in gold right now and being poured into Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you, there are big institutions that are coming in and buying this thing. So anyway, but this is a textbook uptrend setup targeting the historically significant 98,000 region. But here's the deal. Like I said before, the crypto funding rates are extremely negative. Okay, historically, when retail traders are short like they are now, they lose their money and the prices go higher. This is a bullish setup, people. It's a bullish setup. So now let's talk price action itself. Okay, right now. All right, we're likely to see a retracement back to the 91,000, potentially even the 88,000, testing the old resistance as support. But here's the deal. If Bitcoin can break above 95,000 with a daily close, we're looking at 98,000 next. and a stretch of the target will be 102,500. So keep your eyes on the retest zone. So what I'm saying is that this is completely normal marketplace, and I'm going to get into this with the Livermore cylinder. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about normal movements versus abnormal movements. And the one thing that we're going to be focusing on is like this is a completely would be a completely normal movement. It would be a retest of the zone, come back up slightly lower, high, break down lower, probably maybe to 88,000, maybe even 87,500 before we get a break and we get the movement up to that 98,000. Completely normal. I was looking for a spark up to like 98,000 last evening. Things cooled off. Why did they cool off? What the freak happened? Well, guess what? The dollar recovered, and it recovered significantly from its downward movement. Now, it's not over. I mean, right now, the Forex market is, completely confused right now with the tariffs on, tariffs off. So the dollar did regain some steam, primarily against the U.S. dollar yen off of the lows. So dollar yen's right now trading like 142 25 ish. I think. I'm not even sure. 142.50. Sorry, I got to look over my shoulder. Moves around so damn much, that stuff. So the dollar recovered against some major currencies. Also recovered against the sterling pound. A sterling dollar. It actually recovered. It came off the high of 134.30 and got smacked down to like 132-ish, 132.50-ish. So things are, the dollar and the tariff and all that other crap that, Trump has been throwing out there has been causing some confusion. And that's what basically stalled, I believe, stalled our rally in Bitcoin. Okay, there could be a million excuses for that. But let's get into this historic lesson. I think that you're really going to enjoy this. This is the hook that got you here. The Livermore accumulation cylinder with a widening mouth. What is it? It's a consolidation pattern where price swings between two non-parallel trend lines, creating a cylinder. Over time, the mouth widens, and right now, Bitcoin is mirroring this legendary setup. So right now, I'm going to be looking at this is Bitcoin itself, but on this chart pattern right here, where Livermore actually wrote this out. What he was saying was he was looking at normal movements. If you notice, he goes from 50 to 55, then he goes back down to like 52 and a half, then he goes up to 60, then he comes back down to 55 again, then he goes up to 65, he comes back down to 60. And what he'd be doing is he'd be accumulating all points at 3, 5, 7, looking for the breakout. Now, he wouldn't know exactly where the breakout could occur. The breakout could have occurred at 4. It could have shot up. But generally, he thought that it was like a 7-step movement before the massive breakout. So what he considered inside this cone was all normal movements of a stock price. Now, obviously, that's stock. It's not Bitcoin. Okay, so $60 to $65 in stock is a good movement. Now, Bitcoin, because it's 93,000, it rallies like crazy. If you go back in time, if you go back to when Bitcoin was, 15,000, 20,000, you could actually kind of see the similarities because we're talking about a price that was much lower. So now the price is so much bigger that the volatility movements inside this cone actually are a lot wider before the breakout actually occurs. So what I'm getting at is that what Livermore was saying was that these were all normal price movements. And what we experienced in Bitcoin was a normal movement. It was, okay, it fell from 109 to 74. Yeah, that's a normal movement considering the size of the marketplace and the price of the marketplace. So as I was saying, Livermore would be accumulating along this line, okay, which is basically saying that, we should be accumulating along this line in Bitcoin, and now we're looking for the breakout. Well, where would the breakout occur? It would be a breakout above like 0.6. Now, we got the old high at 1 1.09. We're saying this cylinder is actually widening out, that the true breakout price is occurring around 120, 125. And then it's going to be the exponential move up to 300. And we'd be talking about looking at like this area here, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So this is what we're looking at as far as the cylinder is confirmed, as concerned. So if we just go back to the short term, all right, we're talking about where we said that Bitcoin can actually, retrace a little bit, and this would be part of the cylinder buying pattern. Okay, so we go right back to this again. I'm gonna hammer this because Jesse Livermore was a freaking genius, right? Unfortunately, I don't know what the hell happened to him. He ended up shooting himself in the Sherry Netherland Hotel in 1940 on Thanksgiving Day. Why? Don't know. Left a crazy note behind, basically saying he was a failure. I don't know how he came up with that. But anyway, so we got Bitcoin inside the cylinder. Now volume is key to Bitcoin's actually to Jesse Livermore's cylinder, accumulation cylinder. Volume on Bitcoin is probably pretty hard to get a hold of, but it's important when you start to see volume start moving up. And you combine this with mass adoption and sovereign wealth accumulation and institutional demand. And what I mean by institutional demand, okay, I'm going to show you institutional demand right here. All right, and where did it go? Where's my institutional demand? Right there. I want to click on that. Come on, get me BlackRock. BlackRock is institutional demand, man. What did they do? They just bought how much more? 644 million in Bitcoin. Biggest asset manager on the planet is stacking. You think the top is in? Think again. Smart money is buying. Coinbase just dropped the bombshell saying sovereign wealth funds is quietly stacking Bitcoin. In 2 days, 1.8 billion flowed into spot ETFs. This is not retail. That's big players betting on Bitcoin's future. Okay, this is an institutional game changer, and it's fueling this little rally we have. This rally is not big. This rally is going to get much freaking bigger. But anyway, let's look at this flow. And when sovereign funds and institutions start buying, it's not a short-term pump. It's a long-term signal, but we could use the short-term reactions to get involved and get heavily more long the coin. So Bitcoin's market cap is already 1.65 trillion, making the fifth largest asset globally. It's bigger than Google and Amazon. And with this kind of demand, the numbers are only going to go up. So now let's zoom out a little bit and let's look at the total crypto market cap right here. All right. As of today, April 24th, 25, we're sitting around 2.95 trillion, up about 6% recently. Now, some people on X are claiming it briefly hit 3 trillion. Though we're waiting for confirmation on that. Either way, it's a really, this rally is powered by Bitcoin and altcoins like, right now, Solana, I think, is up like 14.5%. Ethereum's up 8%, just above 1,700. I think Ethereum's the sleeper. We've been talking about that. Why this matters is because, we've been saying all along, all right, if we look at the, where do I want to go with this? I want to go here. I want to go right here. We want to look at the total market cap right now. We got the breakout potentially happening right up in this level over here where we could actually see this thing go much, much higher. So why it matters. We saw 347 million in liquidations, mostly short positions. That's a bullish shift showing bears are getting wrecked. Stable coins are still dominating with 92.75% of trading volume. Altcoins are starting to shine. The rebound is tied to broader optimism. Shout out to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for, calming the U.S. trade fears. But a word of caution, liquidity is soft. The U.S. dollar's market cap growth is lagging, and it could cap the upside a little bit for a short term. So let's just go over to Ethereum, all right? We've been talking about this. Ethereum, well, I consider it criminally undervalued right now. I mean, if you look at one of our X posts here, where we put up like Trump, basically, his major accumulation is in Ethereum. I mean, right here. Trump's crypto portfolio is 94% based on Ethereum. The media doesn't talk about it. I wish they freaking would give us a boost. But really, I think it's criminally undervalued right now, trading around 1,700, but it's sitting on legendary support. Analysts are targeting 2,500. That's a 40% upside move. I think we're going to see that. We've been in the accumulation. We talked about the MVRV score. We talked about the stochastic RSI. Everything is just, we got a slight crossover here. This is historically, a buying signal right now. So, all right, so we're heading to right now, technically in Bitcoin, to wrap it up, really, we're heading for a key retest zone around 91,000. This box is critical for holding for the launch pad for the next leg up. Leg up. Fear? Nah. These are moments where smart money positions and gets long. So, like we said, and we dropped down to 74,500. Doomsday crowd was out in full force, but by April 19th, 83,588. Now we cleared the 88 like it was nothing. Now we're above 92, but don't be surprised for a pullback to that 91, potentially even 88,000. Like I said, it's totally market behavior. We got gold up here, and we know that gold is, gold usually a leader. We're waiting for Bitcoin to take off and become the leader, but we believe that Bitcoin is going to catch this and finally break through it and surpass gold. Because as we said before, there's a lot of profit taking in gold that's coming into the coin. So before we wrap up, crew, we want to make sure that you know all about our trading community. It's totally free. So for you to join, and all you got to do is just click this link right here below. Will take you over to our trading community. We're dropping insane alpha and trading opportunities daily, from breakout setups to long-term gens. We got you covered. If you want to follow our trades, if you want a good broker, you could click this link right there. Check out our trusted broker, low fees, fast execution, perfect for our strategies. Join the crew, level up your trading, and let's stack those profits together. All right, so back to the market. Finally, we're going to finish up right here. The Livermore accumulation cylinder, actually, sorry. Total market cap pushing 3 trillion. Markets love to shake out the weak hands, but don't let fear stop you. This is where legends are made. Make sure you come on over, follow us on X, where we talk about crypto and Bitcoin every day, all day. Remember, always do your own research. This is my own opinion. And remember, don't trade with the rent money. And remember, as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.